The Amorous Doctor. Chapter 5 Dignity. Looking at the door that almost hit her nose, Yishulan was so angry that her lungs were about to burst. She shouted angrily, "I was polite to you, but you just think I'm soft like a sick cat. We'll wait and see. Talk, talk, talk." Yishulan turned around and angrily left in her 5 centimeters high heels. "Fuck. Since you are damned rich, so you think you're somebody? I am the boss here." Zhangli was like a rooster that just won a battle, holding on to her waist, and let out a weird quack laugh. Her mood inexplicably changed, made Ding Ning's skin crawl. Talk, talk, talk. A few minutes later, the sound of hurried footsteps was heard, startling Zhangli, who was staring at Ding Ning like a tiger and scolding him. Clap! The door was brutally pushed open, making Zhangli furious. Before she could even turn around, she cursed. "Stupid woman, what's wrong with you? Did I say that?" Zhangli angrily turned around and saw Executive Zhou Guiqing, Deputy Executive of Operations Li Qiuhai, and all the committee members surrounding Yishulan, who was looking at her. Her loud voice suddenly stopped. Instantly, her face was filled with a flattering smile. "Executive Zhou and bosses, you. Why are you here?" Why am I here? If I didn't come, I wouldn't know that the nurses in our Chajiang hospital are so unqualified. What's your name? Now, immediately, apologize to this lady." Zhou Guiqing felt terribly disgusted in his heart as he looked at Zhangli's body, which was even more manly than a man's, and her face was as ugly as what happened in a car accident. Who the hell recruited her? How could he recruit such an unsightly person? Although choosing a nurse was not a beauty pageant, you still needed to make the patients comfortable when seeing them. He secretly made up his mind that he would transfer Zhangli to the morgue and let her work with the elder Zhang. Anyway, she was more scary than those dead bodies. He secretly glanced at Yishulan with the corner of his eyes, and thought that this beautiful woman was indeed more pleasing to the eyes. He didn't know who this woman was, but only knew that she had a great influence, and she actually was able to make the head of Labor and Health Bureau personally call him and repeatedly remind him to treat her properly and politely. The head of Labor and Health Bureau was even on his way here. My name is Zhangli." "Yes, sir. I'm sorry, so sorry that I shouldn't have said something so rude to you. Please forgive me." Zhangli trembled from head to toe, and she was almost scared to death. She realized that she had offended an important woman that she couldn't afford to offend. If she couldn't be forgiven by her, she would lose her job. She immediately bowed and apologized to Yishulan nonstop. Her attitude was as sincere as it could be and was as humble as it could be. Seeing this, Ding Ning secretly admired her. This Zhangli was really a talent that the speed of her face changing could be superb. What a pity that she did not become an actor. Forget it. You just did what you are supposed to do. But since you are a nurse and your job is to serve the patients, you'd better not be so harsh with your words and pay attention to your attitude. Yishulan was truly from a big family. She did not want to bother with such an unimportant person, so she magnanimously waved her hand. Zhangli was relieved and repeatedly nodded. "Yes, yes. I'll pay attention next time. I will. Thank you, thank you. Go back to your work. There's nothing else for you here." Executive Zhou waved his hand as if he was shooing away a fly. Zhang Li was no longer as intrepid as before and left with a gloomy face. She wanted to tell Dr. Wang immediately that Executive Zhou had come. Executive Zhou turned around and revealed a kind smile. "I'm sorry, Madam Yi. Sorry to be ridiculous. If you have any more requests, please tell me. Sorry for troubling you. I don't have any requests now. I just came to visit the nephew of mine and reminisce with him." Yi Shulan revealed a graceful smile, and politely nodded to the higher-ups of the hospital. Executive Zhou and the rest were as smart as monkeys. They knew that Yi Shulan was asking them to leave, so without bothering her, he took out a name card and handed it over to Yi Shulan. "Then we'll go back to work first. If you need anything else, just call me, Ms. Yi." Yi Shulan took the name card, and sweetly smiled as she said, "All right, I will." With a bang sound, Yi Shulan entered the ward and closed the door. Executive Zhou revealed a thoughtful expression. He did not return to the executive's office directly. Instead, he brought a group of people to the emergency doctor's room to inquire about Ding Ning's situation. Otherwise, when Director Zhao of the Health Bureau arrived, the higher-ups in the hospital still did not know which big person was hospitalized here. Ding Ning, who laid on the bed, politely sat up and looked at Yi Shulan, who was sizing him up. He doubtfully asked, "Are you mistaken? How come I didn't know a relative like you?" "Hee, how could I possibly be your relative? I was just casually saying it so that I could find a reason to come in and talk to you. My surname is Yi, you can call me Madam Yi." Whether intentionally or not, Yi Shulan revealed a sense of superiority, and she really agreed with Shin Muyang's words. He was just a poor kid who didn't have a job, and she could easily find him a good job. Thus, she would overawe him first and gain the upper hand in this battle of psychology. Then, she would give him a favor, making him feel grateful to her as well as obediently treat her precious daughter's illness. Ding Ning frowned, and his heart was a bit disappointed. He did not like Yi Shulan's lofty tone, so his voice also became cold. "Nice to meet you, Madam Yi. Do you have anything to do with me?" "Of course I do. I heard that you are a new graduate from the Medical College of Ninghai University, and no hospital wants to accept you now, so you still haven't gotten a job. There was a Chinese saying that knew yourself and knew your enemy, you would win every war." Slowly sitting on the sofa, Yi Shulan felt that she had already grasped the initiative, and spoke with a relaxed tone. Ding Ning's face was gloomy. His good impression of her once again lessened, so he said unhappily, "You investigated me? Who are you? What are you trying to do? Let's put it this way, I'm the mother of the girl you saved today. Considering that you saved my daughter's life, I'll give you 1,000,000 yuan and find you a job to repay your kindness." Yi Shulan did not notice Ding Ning's gloomy expression, as she said arrogantly, as if she was giving money to a beggar, "For a new graduate like you, it's very difficult to find a good job in a big city like Ninghai." "No need, I just did what a doctor should do. If there's nothing else, please go back." Ding Ning had always believed that there was no such thing as a free lunch in this world, so before Yi Shulan could finish speaking, he immediately understood the reason why she came. Most likely, this woman had seen the effects of his acupuncture and wanted to ask him to treat her daughter's illness, but she was also afraid that he would be too greedy and blackmail them. He could not help but laugh coldly in his heart. Not to mention that he did not have the confidence to cure the girl's illness right now. Even if he did, he would not beg them to treat her illness and sell his own dignity. There was a saying that the doctor should never take the initiative to knock on the other's door. Although he was poor, he had his pride, and even if he would starve, he would not shake his tail and beg for mercy. A doctor? Ha ha, I remember that no hospital accepted you, and you still don't have the certificate for licensed practitioner, right? What kind of doctor are you? Seeing that Ding Ning refused before she could tell him the conditions, Yi Shulan laughed somewhat exasperatedly. Ding Ning looked at her deeply, and the corner of his mouth revealed a mocking expression. Yeah, I don't even have the certificate. But even if I'm not a doctor, I still saved your daughter's life and someone even eagerly ran over to beg me. You! Yi Shulan was choked to the point that she was rendered speechless, and her face was constantly changing between shades of green and red. With her temper, if someone dared to speak to her in such a manner, she would have already slapped them hard. However, she had no choice but to lower her head and forcefully suppress the anger in her heart. Could you please listen to my conditions? I hope that from today onwards you can become my daughter's full-time doctor and be responsible for her treatment. Accordingly, I will give you money and also help you find a good job. As long as you agree to it, we will draft a contract right now. I'm sorry, I can't cure your daughter's illness for now. Ding Ning shook his head. It was the first time he saw someone acting so arrogantly to beg others. But he could only speak the truth. Not for now. Did it mean that she could be cured in the future? Yi Shulan was instantly overjoyed, and felt that her visit was not in vain. As for Ding Ning's refusal, in her opinion, it might be like that he wanted to gain more benefits, so he purposely struck a pose to impress her. A problem that could be dealt with by money was never a problem. She immediately took out her checkbook, took out her pen, and looked at him with a sharp gaze. Tell me the price. How much do you want? As long as it's not too much, I will give it to you. Ding Ning felt that he had nothing to say to her, and impatiently said, I will not take your money, and I do not need the job that you arranged. Then tell me, what do you want? Before he finished speaking, Yi Shulan rudely interrupted him. Ding Ning rolled his eyes helplessly. Ms. Yi, right? Please listen carefully. I don't want anything, and I want to rest now. Please go back. Yi Shulan panicked a little. She didn't know that this young man would be so hard to deal with, to actually be so stubborn. You also said that you are a doctor, and all doctors are kind. So how can you turn a blind eye to a sick girl? As long as you can cure my daughter, I will give you whatever you want. Could it be that you don't have the ability? Yi Shulan had thought that it would be easy to deal with this innocent kid with her business negotiation skills. She never thought that it would be so hard to talk with him. She immediately changed the strategy, and turned to provoke him by taking the high ground of morality. In her opinion, he was still an innocent boy who didn't experience the world yet, and young people were always hot-blooded and impulsive, so provoking him would work, but unfortunately she was wrong once again. Ding Ning lost all his patience as he said coldly, I'm sorry. Of course I do not have money, but I will also not sell my dignity with her. I didn't ask you to sell your dignity. I just want you to become my daughter's doctor and think of a way to cure her. She's only 22 years old, the same age as you, and she's still young. Do you stand to watch her get taken away by the illness at any time? Seeing that Ding Ning still did not take her words, Yi Shulan panicked a little. Her eyes turned red as she thought of her daughter's illness and felt sorrowful. At this moment, her true feelings touched upon the softest place in Ding Ning's heart. Was it the love of a mother? He was so envious.